This debate today, it's about who gets to be an American. What opinions do we have to be counted as Americans? This is what this debate is about, Madam Speaker. There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. It is no accident that members of the Republican Party accused the first Black president, Barack Obama, of being a secret Muslim. It is no accident that
In this video, Alison Reacts breaks down the powerful moment when Representative Ilhan Omar was officially removed from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. This long-overdue decision sends a clear message. Anti-American rhetoric has no place in shaping U.S. foreign policy. As a right-wing patriot, I share why this was the right call, why Democrats are furious, and why Republicans finally showed backbone. Watch to hear the truth the mainstream media won't tell you. Don't forget to subscribe and to keep supporting patriotic voices.
Is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentlelady from the great state of New York, Nicole Malliotakis.
The gentlewoman from New York is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela, that is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America and Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability, because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress to foreign nations. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back.
Georgia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
Welcome back to A Listen Reacts. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. Every single click helps us fight back against the mainstream media lies and the political elites who want to silence patriotic voices like ours. If you believe in America, in truth, and in holding our so-called leaders accountable, then this is the place for you. Let's dive right into today's story. So, the House of Representatives has officially voted to remove Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee. This is not just some small change in committee assignments. This is a major, long overdue step toward protecting America's credibility on the world stage. The Foreign Affairs Committee is not some minor backbench panel. It's where America's image, alliances, and global strategy are discussed. And yet for years, Democrats thought it was just fine to put someone like Ilhan Omar in that seat, despite her repeated history of controversial statements, particularly against Israel, one of our strongest allies. Republicans finally stood up and said enough is enough. This isn't about silencing voices. It's about making sure that people who sit on such an important committee actually respect America's values, our allies, and our position in the world. Omar's comments, her worldview, and her open disdain for policies that put America first made her a terrible fit for that committee from the very start. And it's about time Congress corrected that mistake. Of course, Democrats are crying foul, screaming that this is all political revenge. But let's get real. What they call revenge, the rest of us call accountability. Republicans aren't playing games anymore. They're showing that if you openly undermine America's foreign policy, cozy up to hostile viewpoints, and spread rhetoric that damages our relationships with allies, you don't get to sit on a committee that deals with foreign affairs. That's common sense. Now, here's what I find really important. This move is not about just one person. It's about drawing a line in the sand. For too long, people like Ilhan Omar have been elevated in the Democratic Party, given platforms they never should have had, and allowed to act like America is the bad guy while excusing the real bad actors in the world. Removing her is a message that we are no longer going to tolerate anti-American rhetoric in positions of power. To be clear, Ilhan Omar is still a member of Congress. Nobody silenced her voice. She can still speak, vote, and represent her district. But she no longer gets to represent America on the global stage in that prestigious committee role. And frankly, that's the right decision. If Democrats had any integrity, they would have done it themselves years ago. But because they didn't, Republicans had to step up and do the job. Friends, this is a victory for common sense, for patriotism, and for protecting America's standing in the world. But it's only the beginning. We need more of this backbone in Congress. We need leaders who are not afraid to stand up, tell the truth, and make tough calls even when the media and the radical left lose their minds. If you're with me on this, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Share it with your friends and family, because the more people hear the truth, the harder it becomes for the elites to control the narrative. This was a win for America, but the fight is far from over.